Next week, the Chancellor, Rachel from Accounts, is due to deliver her second, and let's be blunt, last budget. And taxes are due to rise in a way that in no way will benefit hard-working British taxpayers, because this Labour government is hell-bent on giving money away to other countries and looking after people who cannot be bothered to work. Now, of course, there are some people who can't work due to disability, and I have no issue with that. But there are millions of people who don't work because they choose not to. They know how to play the system, the people with bad backs and anxiety. And for them, they're getting a pay rise because benefits are rising by 3.8%. So all the dole scroungers are getting a pay rise above the rate of inflation. So benefits were meant to be cut by £5 billion, but now they're going up by an additional £6 billion. Which will be done by taxing the taxpayers even harder. And as for foreign aid, just last week we found out that the British government gave Pakistan £19 million to pay for condoms. Pakistan is a fucking nuclear power. Why are British taxpayers paying for prophylactics, love sheets? Although I guess in the long term, if we can stop the people of Pakistan breeding, then there'll be less young men to come over here and do terrible things to young white girls. So it's widely expected that after the budget, Rachel Reeves will have to go. And that leaves the Prime Minister, Keith Starmer, without a Chancellor. And generally speaking, when the Chancellor goes, that is the death knell for the Prime Minister. And that won't be such a bad thing because he's so utterly fucking incompetent. The vultures are already circling. Some people are saying he'll be gone by May, which is when I think he'll go. Others are saying he could be gone by Christmas. But there's one candidate who's already clearly vying for the top job. The Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, pictured here at a pro-Palestine anti-Semitic hate march. The woman who flew to Greece to welcome illegal immigrants to Europe. She's now going hardline on immigration, to the point that a member of the Green Party accused her of, and I quote, pandering to the electorate. So a member of Parliament is horribly carrying out the will of the people. It led to Zara Sultana of the Your Party to accuse her of being a fascist. So Zara Sultana and Shabana Mahmood got it on in the Houses of Parliament. It's nice to see the House of Commons has now become a place for Muslim women to air their grievances. And let's be blunt, all that Shabana Mahmood is doing is copying the policies of Reform UK because they are surging ahead in the polls. But I'll be blunt, I don't want to see her in the top job.
Islam, my own religion, like a lot of practicing Muslims, my faith is the most important thing in my life. It is the absolute driver of everything that I do. I feel a very strong calling of my own conscience, and my conscience calls me to God. That is how.
The most important thing in my life. Now, call me a cynic, but I don't want to see a Muslim in number 10. The religion of peace has been infiltrating British politics for years, with many British mayors being Muslims. We've seen what Sadiq Khan has done. In 9 years, he's utterly destroyed London. Having a Muslim as Prime Minister, I predict, would signal the death of Britain as we know it. And although she appears to be getting tough on immigration, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I think there's something darker going on. She's introducing Trump-style visas on 3 African countries, meaning that if they don't take back their illegal immigrants, people from those countries can't come here. Those countries are Angola, Namibia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And yes, the DRC has a very dark past. But those 3 countries all have something in common. They're all massively majority Christian countries. So we have a Muslim Home Secretary who's trying to restrict Christians from entering the UK. Yet no restrictions are being meted out onto the 2 biggest countries where we get refugees, or rather economic migrants. Those are Pakistan, which crucially isn't at war, so there aren't any refugees, and Afghanistan. The 2 countries where we have the highest percentage of men who do terrible things to young children. Shabana, why aren't you stopping men coming from those countries? And despite blatantly ripping off the policies of Reform UK, This is her opinion on the Reform leader, MP for Clacton, Nigel Farage.
Do you think Nigel Farage is racist?
I think that Nigel Farage is actually almost worse than that. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. I think he's being extremely cynical. He knows that with some of the policies he's put forward, which are on indefinite leave to remain, for example, immoral and in my view extreme, he is sending that dog whistle to every racist in the land, but he wants to retain some respectability for himself whilst he does it, and that's what we're challenging.
Do you think he is racist himself?
Look, it's for Nigel Farage to explain who and what he is. I'm saying I can see that behaviour. No, I can see. No, I can see the behaviour that he's indulging in.
Yes, label him as being worse than a racist. Throw in lazy terms like far right and dog whistle. To me, this is straight up out of the Muslim playbook. She stopped one word short of saying Islamophobia. Label the opposition as racist and then play the victim. They do it every fucking time. And there are now allegations that as a teenager, Nigel Farage may have used some racist language. To that I say, so fucking what? The man's in his mid-60s. We all did stupid shit as teenagers.
Today I have set out what we propose and perhaps more importantly, why. I love this country, which opened its arms to my parents around 50 years ago. But I am concerned by the division I see now, fueled by a pace and scale of change that is placing immense pressure on local communities. For those who believe that migration is part of modern Britain's story and should always continue to be, we must prove that it can still work, that those who come here contribute, play their part and enrich our national life. While each will always retain something of who they were and where they came from, they become a part of the greatest multi-ethnic, multi-faith democracy in the world. And with that, Madam Deputy Speaker, I commend this statement to the House.
Yeah. She's concerned about the rate of change in the UK. She's the fucking Home Secretary. She has the power to do something about it. Close the sodding borders. And her policy for deporting people is to bribe them with between £3,000 and £20,000 per person. Do it for free. Tell them they're being deported, and if they kick up a stink, tase the fuckers and stick them on a plane. We don't have to pay them. And I'm not some far-right white supremacist nut job. But this multi-ethnic, multi-faith society, skin colour doesn't matter to me in the slightest. It's a person's colour. Yet, we, the British people, we were not consulted. We didn't approve this plan. Back in 1997, when Tony fucking Blair threw open the borders to all and sundry to flood our country, we didn't ask for it, we don't want it. I do not want to see a Muslim Prime Minister, and I fucking hate Keir Starmer, but keep him in office rather than that. On behalf of many British people, I want my fucking country back. What I want to see is not pandering to the EU or Pakistan or Afghanistan or Angola or Eritrea or whatever. I want to see mass deportations and get us back to where we used to be. Well, that was a very angry rant. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you could leave a like, a comment or share the video, that really helps with the algorithm. If you'd like to support me in making these videos, and thank you to everyone who's done so already, there are links in the description to buy me a coffee, and as ever, thanks for watching. So the vultures are circling. And one candidate who's putting herself forward to be the next leader of the Labour Party is the Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood. So the Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, Rachel from accounts, once Rachel has gone, that'll leave our illustrious leader, Keith Stalin, without a Chancellor. And generally speaking, when a Prime Minister loses his or her Chancellor, the writing's on the wall. They have to go. And I can't remember my next line. With the Conservative Party, we see them rallying behind Kemi Badenoch, saying that she's the greatest leader ever. Yet we all know the second that an election actually gets announced, they'll fuck her off and install Robert Jenrick. They'll fuck her off. I should be on Newsnight.